guys, as if it is the end of March / beginning of April. I cannot believe how quickly the start of 2016 is going, but I have like promised myself that I'm going to try and do monthly favourites every month, and I'm really excited to talk to you about the stuff I've been loving this month. My February favourites went down really well, and I was really happy that you guys enjoyed the stuff that I was talking about in them. So I'm going to get cracking. It's going to follow a very similar theme. I've got one book, some beauty products, and then some more kind of like lifestyle-y bits. So yes, I'm going to just get cracking. So first of all, I'm going to talk beauty, and first up is a nail varnish from Nails Inc. Now, Nails Inc has been around for God knows how long, but it's only been in the past month or so that I've been introduced to them in terms of like actually using them. First of all, I think their packaging is really beautiful, really on point, really photogenic, which is shallow but quite important in like the beauty world at the minute. Things need to be photographable for Instagram and things like that, and I just love their packaging. They've got like quite solid lids that go on, but then like the actual lid to fasten the nail varnish is really small. It's just like a really beautiful size, I think. And this colour is Cornwall Gardens, like a mauvey, purpley, pale, beigey colour, which is very up my street. I've actually got another one on by them, which I can't remember the colour of it. What's it called? Crap. It's actually at Jamie's house, so I couldn't share it with you today. But they're both beautiful. I love everything about these. They have a really nice, thick consistency to them, so you don't need like too many layers to get a good amount of coverage, but also they're not at all gloopy. It's like a really nice smooth application. The brush is quite thick, so it covers quite a lot of area, and it means that like just with one stroke you've kind of covered the whole nail, which is something that I find really important because I find doing my nails quite laborious. I do prefer to kind of like have gel nails done, but I never really seem to find the time to actually go to a salon and have it. And I just find that this is a really nice at home, easy to use, really good staying power, amazing colours nail varnish. So yes, love that. Next up is, like, I'm not talking about one thing specifically, but more about a brand, and that is Crown Brush. Now, they make kind of like makeup brushes, obviously, and the Crown Brush title is deserved because they do deserve a crown for their brushes. I think they are amazing. Now, for somebody that isn't a makeup artist, for somebody that is interested in makeup but that doesn't have a huge amount of knowledge, like actually doesn't have any knowledge in what brushes are for, what brushes like you should pick for what things, like I am so in the dark with these kind of things, and so because of that I don't want to spend like 40 quid on a brush or something. Now, like, don't get me wrong, they do have brushes that are more expensive. Like every kind of range has more of a budget buy and then more of a higher end product, but typically like these brushes are really affordable and they're really nice quality. They're really soft. They like blend on the skin really beautifully, and like some of them are for like from like as cheap as £4, like, which is crazy cheap. And so like I am just really impressed. Like, for somebody that doesn't want to invest a huge amount of money in makeup brushes just purely for lack of understanding the benefits of them, but also because like it's not the kind of product that I like to spend money on, so I would rather have like a more affordable option, and I think that these are really great. Like, I've used Real Techniques for years, but I've recently like replaced some of my Real Techniques brushes with these, and like honestly, they do an amazing job. Like, I've used all of these brushes. Every single one of these brushes that I'm holding here I've used on my face today, and I just think the quality of them is really lovely. I will link all of these individual brushes below, but like, yes, I've applied everything to my face using these, and I'm just, yeah, I really do love them and recommend them a lot. So yes, that's that. A new addition throughout the end of February and the beginning of March was some new skincare. Now, I ran out of all of my skincare at once, which typically happens to, I think it happens to everybody really, doesn't it? But I went onto Twitter and I said, does anybody know of any skincare products that I can try that are new, because I need to replenish some like makeup remover and cleansers and all of these kind of things. And a few people came back and recommended Aurelia probiotic skincare. And the one I want to talk to you about today is the Miracle Cleanser. Now this is with chamomile, eucalyptus, rosemary and bergamot. And it's really nice. It's really luxurious. It's a 120ml pot, so it's a really good size, but it is filled right to the brim, which I think is really important. I know that sounds silly, but like I think so many products like give this over the top packaging and don't make the most of it, and like this is like jam packed with product. So it's like a really like aromatic creamy blend of fragrances that are subtle enough to not be too heavy on the skin, but the really like the ingredients in there really are good for your skin and are helping your skin. And I really like a creamy cleanser to take off my makeup. And the other thing I want to talk to you about, which forgive me is a bit dirty and a bit grubby because it needs to go in the wash, is the muslin cloth that came with it. Now I know that this might sound a little bit silly as well, but I find you can't just use any old muslin cloth on your skin. Like some people might be able to, but for me, I have never found a muslin cloth that I've enjoyed using until I tried the one that came with the Aurelia cleanser. It's a much softer texture, like the fabric is much softer, and it has like really kind of like slight rib detailing to the sewing on the fabric, like, and I think that like helps exfoliate the skin, but it's not harsh at all, which I find with a lot of like I tried the Emma Hardy cleansing balm and I hated the cloth that came with that, and if you use the Lizelle ones, that's quite nice, but I do think that this is better. And then you literally like just put this onto your face when it's dry hands, like, and really like rub it into the skin, and then run this into hot water and like wipe it off, and it really does lift off all of your makeup. It's really good. I do even find that on an evening I like to do 2 cleanses, and I only need to do 1 with this because it really does get all of the crap off my face. Oh, okay, and it says, and remove with Aurelia's antibacterial bamboo muslin. Now that's interesting because it's got bamboo. An antibacterial bamboo muslin, so you know, you learn something new every day. I didn't know that. This is an England-based skincare brand, and I am really impressed. Like, you guys know that I've suffered with my skin, and this has been really good for my skin. It's really soothing, really calming. It's not oily or greasy. It just does the job, and I really like it. It hasn't broken me out or anything. And this cleanser that comes along with the pot is £34, so it's a slightly higher budget skincare item, but like from everything to the packaging to how wondrous it's been on my skin, like I really do think it's worth it. And I invest in cleansers and moisturisers. They're like my 2 top things that I don't mind spending money on my skin, and I would definitely repurchase this. I'm just dead impressed. So thank you to everybody on Twitter that recommended it. I am loving it. Okay, so next up is a book, and this one is by David Nichols, and it's called Us. Now I'm sure if you enjoy reading books, this won't be anything new to you guys. I haven't finished it yet. I am this much through, so I've got like this little bit left to go, but I wanted to include it in my favourites because literally I am obsessed with it. It's taking me a little bit longer to read than a normal book that I like pick up and really want to read would, just because I have had such a weird month. I've either been crazy busy and I've literally just not had enough time to read, or I've been incredibly ill. I've spent 2.5 weeks of March like just feeling like crap. I had a water infection, I had a migraine, I had like cold and flu symptoms. It's just like been a really crappy month where one thing after another just kept hitting me. So yes, I haven't really been able to indulge in as much reading time as I would like, but this is just such a beautiful book. I love the way that it's written, I love the way that it's structured. It's about a man and a wife who are married, and then the wife turns around one day and says to him, I don't think I want to be married to you anymore. And it's about them going on a trip with their son, and the husband, Douglas, wanting to try and win back his wife Connie's respect and love, and to like try and make this trip the trip that makes them stay together. And it's just like, it doesn't sound like groundbreaking stuff. It's very simplistic in its core, but just everything about it is really beautiful. I really like that it's written from a man's perspective, of a guy that doesn't want to lose his wife, he doesn't want to lose his family, and he's a very simple man in terms of it's just really interesting. I don't want to give away too much, but the way that the book is structured is that it kind of like each chapter and even each section of the book flips between him and Connie meeting, and like their relationship growing and building, and how they get to the point of being man and wife and having their child and all of these things. And then it flips back to them being on this trip and Douglas trying to salvage this car wreck of a marriage. And it's really good. It's a really nice read. It's $7.99. This is also the chap who wrote One Day, which was a huge best-selling book, and also like film that I went to see because I love the book so much. David Nicholls is just a really good writer, and the thing I love about books and a good book is when you fall in love with the characters, kind of like regardless of whether they're good or bad. And I am in love with Douglas, like I want to marry Douglas. It's just, yeah, I've really fallen in love with all of the characters in this book, and I think that is what's like really sells it to me. It's done beautifully. So if you liked One Day and you haven't read us, I would highly recommend it. If you've never read anything by David Nicholls, I would highly recommend it. It's just a really great book, and I'm really excited to finish it, so no spoilers if you have already read it. Yes, so that's that. The next thing I wanted to share with you is a bit more of like potentially a boring thing, but I find it really useful, and this month has been really useful, is a laptop case. Now, if you follow me on my blog, you will maybe recognise that like this actually suits the little fox logo that sits on my blog, but it's like a geometric marble print case, and it is from Cassetify, which is like an American online store where you can create your own cases for your phone, for your laptop, all of these kind of things, or you can buy the ones that they just have in stock. And this is like amazing. I really, really love it. It's kind of like a foamy material, so it's really quite thick, which means it's going to really protect your laptop. And I keep my I keep my MacBook in this, and it's even machine washable, which is pretty cool because it is the kind of material that could get a bit grubby. But I've had this since the back end of last year, and it's still not even like really dirty at all. I'm really impressed with it. It's really sturdy. It's taken a bit of a beating, and I find this really I find this really useful because I'm in and out of London a lot, and also I'm living in between my house and spending time with Jamie, and that means I need to have my laptop with me, and having a case is kind of like imperative because I really don't want to damage my expensive laptop. But yeah, it's just really important to have something good that actually protects it. But that I find that you can get really nice cases, but actually they don't do a lot of good in terms of protecting your stuff. But I think that this is really beautiful, really stylish, but it's also incredibly practical and does look after my laptop. It's got like a big zip, and it literally fits like just right, so there's no room either side. It just like is super snug, and that's exactly how I would want it to be. I wouldn't want it kind of like flipping about everywhere. So yeah, that is that.
Pins and needles, go away.
So another brand I wanted to talk to you about is Bilskinir. Now, I love jewellery. I have a thing with jewellery. I invest in jewellery. I love watches. I love bracelets. Like JC Withers is one of my favourite jewellery designers. And I've just recently stumbled across Bilskinir. And they are just so, like, their pieces are just so beautiful. So I'm wearing 3 of their pieces today. One is the baby bee ring, and the elephant necklace with a hidden Swarovski stone behind it, and then a little elephant ring, and I have recently formed a love for sterling silver jewellery. I used to just live in gold. I didn't really think that the silver jewellery suited me, but actually as I've got a little bit older, I have kind of fallen in love with silver jewellery, and also mixing silver with gold. I really enjoy doing as well. And I just really love these pieces. They're really unique designs that are really beautiful, are a little bit quirky, and I find that you can get, so one of my favourite designers is Alex Monroe, but I do really feel like they're very much on, his jewellery is very much on the dainty side. It's very pretty and fairy tale like, which I do love, and I have so many of his pieces and I love them. But the thing I love with Bilskinir and what they've done differently with kind of like animal jewellery is make it a little bit more grungy, which I think is quite hard to do and still be kind of like applicable to all styles. Does that make any sense? Because with this honeycomb ring, it's like, it's quite a thick band, and the thick band is honeycomb, which I just think is so cool and unique. And then it's got this little bee that's like sat on the top of it, and it's like the epitome of wildlife and its natural environment, but it just looks incredibly cool and not just pretty, which I think is really a brilliant achievement. And the quality of them is just really lovely, and the attention to detail is amazing. Like the little elephant ring, his tusks are painted in a gold finished paint, which I just think is just a really nice simple touch that not many people will notice, but it's just really nice. And the fact that this has like a hidden jewel at the back of it, it's just very different, and it's high end in terms of like, it's not Topshop or accessorised jewellery, but it is more affordable, so you're not going to be breaking the bank by investing in some of these pieces, but you know that they're really good quality and they're going to last, which I think is a really nice range to be in. And yeah, I'm just head over heels for their jewellery. I just think they're so beautiful, and everybody comments on the baby bee ring, which like it is just a lovely piece. And yeah, I just think they're a really lovely brand, so definitely check them out if you want to have a look. And they constantly have kind of like really good sales as well, so you should check those out. But yes, that is everything that I have been loving in March. I hope that you enjoyed it, guys, and I would love to know what you've been loving this month, especially skincare wise, because I would still like to explore some more. And if you have a look on the Bilskinir website, I'd really like to know what your favourite pieces are, because I'm definitely going to be investing in some more, because I just think they're really beautiful. So yes, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Give it the thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon. Bye!